Hey fisherman, Aqua Duelist here, and I'm up with my buddy Steven.
Hello.
Steven, what do you got for us?
So I ended up building the card deck of Yu-Gi-Oh! Because I'm a bit of a card fanatic, and I made him really stupid.
But wait, that's a metal foe card right there. What's going on here, my guy?
As I said, stupidity.
All right, man. So Steven, let's go ahead.
Okay.
Get into this monster you've made.
Alright, so I'll go ahead and start with the main part of the deck. So, as people could probably guess by me saying I run cars, I run FAs. We'll start with the level 1 and then go up, just so it's easier. 3 of the FA Auto Navigator, arguably one of the best tuners in the game. Search field spell when it's normal or special, and you can special summon it from either hand or grave by removing any added levels on your FA monsters. While, yeah, their effects are only once per turn, definitely need to run 3 of them for consistency, because as the Aqua Duelist found out real fast, you can eat 3 of your field spells in this deck by turn, 3.
Yeah. Put those up a little bit.
A little further. Here.
Right there, man. Good.
Okay, next is 3 FA Hang-On Lock. For all the FAs, they share one common effect of gain 300 attack for each level they have. The other ones have different effects. This one's my personal favorite because it's unaffected by the activated effects from an opponent's monster whose original level/rank is lower than this card's current level. So if you get it to 10, it's pretty much immune to all monster effects. And once this card hits level 7, any card that's sent from your opponent's field to grave is banished instead. So it's a very easy Dark Wall. The next one is FA Whip Crosser. He's not as good, but he's certainly still pretty good because he has the 300 gain effect, and then your opponent must pay 300 life points to activate any monster effects when that's lower or equal to this card's rank/level.
You actually had me on the ropes one game because I had 200 life points left.
Yes. And then if this card is level 7 or higher, your opponent cannot discard cards from their hand to the grave to activate a card effect. So it shuts down ritual decks too because they can't send the cards.
Ooh.
So you have to have them on field. Good luck having any monsters on field when you're dealing with thousands and thousands of attack. The next one is FA Dark Dragster. I've seen some people run it at 3. Personally, I think it's best at 2 because it cannot be normal summon/set. It must first be special summoned from your hand by having a level 7 or higher FA monster on the board, but accept itself, and you can only have one of it on the board at one time. And as for the other FAs, it gains 300 times its level, so it's actually the biggest monster you can drop out of the deck naturally. And if you remove 3 levels from this card, you can destroy 1 card on the field. Wish it was a quick effect, but it's not. But hey, you know what? It pops the field spells or other combo cards later.
By far, I think he's got the coolest artwork too.
Honestly. And then the one of, because he's really the worst one, I run 1 copy of Sonic Meister. I've seen people cut that and just run 3 Dark Dragster instead. He gains 300 times his level, yada yada yada. The only reason I run him is because he cannot be destroyed by battle with an opponent's monster whose level/rank is equal to it. So for some reason, if you break really bad or your opponent just shuts you down, you can, assuming you have a field spell in hand, you could drop the field spell, and then it can't be killed by a level 7 or higher, or level 7 or lower. And then when this card is level 7 or higher, it can make a second attack in a row. So assuming that you can live long enough with it, if you can come back from whatever your opponent just did to you, you can also start wiping their field pretty fast with it.
Alright.
And now for the fun text. Because as you were asking, why do I have the metal foes? Metal foes, while they're in the pendulum zone, you can target 1 face-up card you control, destroy it, and then set 1 metal foe spell or trap directly from the deck. all of the FA field spells, when they're destroyed, allow you to search an FA card from your deck to hand. So these just kind of set up stupid combo pieces, because you could blow up your field spell, search any FA card from deck to hand, and then send a Metal Foe spell or trap from deck to field. So that way you're getting basically a +2 off of just one effect.
Alright.
And then the one of Scrap Raptor.
This man playing Scrap Raptor, though.
Yes. Well, generally, I do not actually use this card's effect because I don't run any other scraps in the deck to proc it. It's still good because it is a level 4 tuner, and there are those very rare cases where I only have a level 5 on board, so either I can use it to summon any of my level 9s, or use it for any of my link plays as well. And then if you somehow manage to get a level 3 on board, though that'd be very difficult with the deck, you can also use for your level 7s. Now going into the spells, the first one of is 1 day apiece. I mean,
It's 1 day apiece.
yeah, it's 1 day apiece. Who doesn't like a 39 card deck?
I mean, Dino Chad, you know, he's done stuff there.
I was about to say, who doesn't like, you know, just playing 1 day apiece and then passing turn and letting your opponent not know what you're playing, and then just come out with a 5,000 plus beater.
Yeah.
The first Metal Foe spell or trap I play, Metal Foe's Fusion. When it's destroyed, you can draw a card after shuffling it back in the deck. While you can only use that effect once per turn, it still is the main target I use for all my Metal Foes because it's just a recyclable target. I thought about throwing in some of the Metal Foes fusions into the extra deck, but none of them really help the deck that much. 1 copy of Terraforming, because I run almost 5 different ways of getting a field spell to the hand. Save the field spells.
Konami, bring Terraforming back to 3. It's the only deck, or it's the only card that's actually, like, you know, getting hurt my ballpark deck.
I mean, bring Ancient, Ancient Pixie back?
Ooh.
Please. 1 Monster Reborn, obvious reasons. The first of the FA field spells, FA Off-Road. When you activate that card, all your FA monsters gain 1 level, and during your main phase, increase the level of all FA monsters you control by 2. Another fun effect of this is during the battle phase, if one of your FA monsters would be destroyed by battle or card effect, you can rip a card out of your opponent's hand.
Ooh.
And then if it's destroyed, you can add any FA card from deck to hand except Off-Road Grand Prix.
That card ripped, though.
Yes. The next one, 2 copies of UA Hyper Stadium. It's kind of stupid that it's always treated as an FA card, and when activated, it allows you to add 1 FA monster or 1 UA monster from deck to hand. So that's always fun.
I mean, the set that came out and was kind of weird because they were just trying to mix like
they were mixing everything with that.
Yeah, they were mixing multiple archetypes into like cards. It was weird.
Yeah,
it was cool.
Like the Springings and Fallen of Abanaz and all of that.
Then you had what was it? Raid Raptors with Phantom Knights. Like it was a
really weird set. It was a fun set.
It was cool though.
It was a fun set. Don't get me wrong. The other effect that I love about this is if you open this and either a field spell searcher or a field spell, you can reveal the field spell in your hand, pay 1,000, and then you gain an additional normal summon of an FA or a UA monster. So it's a good 2 of just because it searches your combo pieces and gives you additional summons. The first 3 of UA Locker Room. Again, it's another one of those that's always treated as an FA card, so when you activate it with an FA monster, you gain levels. And you can target 1 UA or FA monster in your grave, add it to your hand. And after you resolve that effect, you can reveal any number of UA or FA monsters in your hand, shuffle them into the deck, and then draw cards equal to the number of monsters you sent.
Ooh.
So while generally I only use it for the draw 1 and the extra 500 life points that it gives after adding a UA or FA monster from grave to hand, there have been times I've just opened all monsters and one of that. So, you know, a +4 when you're on a dead hand is always nice.
Free reload.
A searchable free reload because it's counted as an FA card. Possibly my favorite FA card, FA Test Run. Target one FA monster you control, switches battle position. Target one FA monster you control, switches battle position, then destroy one card on the field. During your main phase, except the turn this card was sent there, you can destroy one face-up card you control, special summon one FA monster from the deck. So, yeah, that one's a lot of fun. You can use it to hit your field spells, Malefo's Fusion, or if you're fairly set up, you can start using it to hit your opponent's cards. A lot of Synchro players have gotten mad at me for that card. The next card, FA Pitstop. You can run this one at 2 if you want to run some other tech cards. Personally, I think it fits at 3 because you can, when this card is activated, decrease a FA monster you control by 2, or decrease his level by 2, and then you could draw 1 plus the number of FA Pitstops in your grave. So I've seen some techie combinations where you can use FA Pitstop and chain Test Run to it, so you'll destroy the Pitstop. So when it resolves, you technically have 1 in grave, so you draw 2 instead of 1.
Okay.
And then during the main phase, except the turn this card was sent there, you could banish it from the grave, and you can special summon 1 FA monster from the grave back to the field. So I end up winning games generally because I'll just send that really early, keep it in the grave, and then when I'm about to go from game, I'll special summon the level 9 Synchro from the grave. As long as you have his field spell on board, it automatically becomes a level 11. That's 3,300 to the face.
Oof.
And then the last bit of spells are FA City Grand Prix. Is by far the best field spell. Increase the level of all FA monsters you control by 2 during both the main phase and the battle phase instead of just the main phase. And FA monsters you control cannot be targeted with card effects while they're face up on the field. And it does have the effect of, if this card is destroyed, add 1 FA card from deck to grave except FA City Grand Prix. So that one's personally my favorite because I try to end on that, so that way when you're going into your opponent's turn, you can have all these really big beaters with, especially if you get the Synchros on board and they can't be targeted on top of it. So it makes it very hard to kind of get rid of them unless you're using generic field nukes, which at that point, that's what the Synchros are there for.
Alright.
The first of the traps, I run 2 Malefo's Counter. It's the other search that I generally use for if I somehow can't get Malefo's Fusion off the board. Counter, whenever a card you control is destroyed by battle or card effect, you can flip this card, special summon 1 Malefo's monster from your deck. And then during either player's turn, except the turn this card was sent to the grave, you can banish it from the grave and add 1 face-up Malefo monster from your extra deck to your hand. So if you were to Foolish Burial or anything in your Malefos, then you can go ahead and banish this, add whatever one you want.
Have you ever have you ever used it, or have you ever summoned a Malefo on field?
I do it occasionally. Most of the time, it's just to go for extended link plays if
Okay.
I go in that far.
Okay.
And then the last of the main deck cards, 1 Metaverse.
Gotta love Metaverse.
I mean, I run 7 field spells in the deck. You need to see them, so Metaverse, Terraforming, Triple Tuner, and then the field spells themselves can search other field spells.
Alright.
Alright, so that's the main deck. It's probably the least threatening part of the deck.
Oh man. We're getting into the extra deck here.
Yes. And the very first Synchro, and it's the only one I run 3 of, FA Dark Dragster. It's a level 7, it just takes 1 tuner plus 1 non-tuner monster. Completely generic. Each time a FA spell is activated, this card gains 1 level. And this card's attack is equal to its level times 300. So starting at a level 7, you get 21. If you have any of your field spells out, it's sitting at level at least 9.
You remember the time when everyone and their mom was playing that card?
Yeah, well, a generic spell and trap negate during either player's turn by removing 2 levels is very nice.
I mean, I very much remember it.
Yes. Also, the other part of this card that no one actually remembers, it does do piercing damage.
What?
Yes.
It does piercing? What?
It actually does piercing damage.
That's madness.
I can't tell you how many times I've gamed people because they forgot that. The very next synchro I run, Borreload Savage Dragon.
Oh.
Generally, if this card gets too low of a level to where I'm worried about it being killed, I'm going to either go into this or the next synchro, just so I can make sure that it's staying pretty good. I only run 1 Link 4, so generally I only have about Link 2 attached to it, but you know, hey, 2 free negates, that's still really good. The next card, and it's the one that I normally go into after FA Dark Dragster, is Crystal Wing.
Good old classic right there.
Yeah, I mean, negate
It's
monster
Wing.
effect. Yeah, negate monster effects,
It's
gain
Crystal
attack. It's a fun card. Now the first level 9 I run, Scrap Twin Dragon. It's kind of funny because you have to blow up one of your cards, so you can blow up one of your field spells, and then you can destroy 2 of your opponents.
Ooh.
So you plus, and your opponent loses 2 cards.
Oh, man.
Don't summon them often, but it's kind of funny when I do. The newest addition to the deck, and by far probably one of my favorites.
Ooh, I love this card.
Yeah, the Stellar Wind Wolferite.
Yo, this card is stupid, people.
Yeah, and considering every time a FA spell is activated, their monster effects increase their level by 1. And this card gains 300 attack for every time a monster effect is activated. When it is 4,000 or higher attack, quick effect, you could send this card back to the extra deck, and all monsters your opponent controls back to the deck.
What's great is it's just like it doesn't target or anything,
No,
too, so
no.
it's stupid.
I mean, I've had this thing, assuming I go for this specifically and then just have 1 or 2 FA monsters, I can have this thing at like 5,500 attack by turn 2, maybe turn 1, depending on the hand.
Alright.
But yeah, there's been a bunch of times I've resolved this first turn on my opponent's plays. They'll set up this whole board and I'll do that.
Alright.
The very next synchro, Cloud Castle.
Oh, that thing was annoying.
Yeah, I love it. It's a free res of a level 9 in your grave, and the second effect of it is during the turn, they are normal or special summon. Level 8 or lower monsters cannot declare an attack. So you just put that thing in defense mode with all of your other fun FA synchros and stuff. That's going to be well over level 8, and your opponent just cannot attack you the turn most of everything is summoned. If you want to shut down Blue Eyes players, play that.
Blue Eyes community already hates me, so.
And now make it worse.
Yes.
The boss monster of the deck.
Fuck that card. I hate it.
FA Motorhome Transport. It's the biggest FA monster.
Oh, man.
Starting at level 9. It gains attack. It gains 300 times its level and attack. When it's level 11, it cannot be destroyed by battle or card effects. And when it's level 13, it gains the immunity to destruction and can res an FA monster in your grave. So if you use your level 7 synchro to summon this, get this thing to level 13, you could just drop the synchro for free.
I hate that card.
Oh yeah, my favorite way of doing it is use the level 7's effect, negate whatever I need, then use the Metal Foe or any of my cards that pop a card, send it to the grave, and then the very next turn, drop it back.
I kaiju'd this thing who knows how many times, and this madman right here kept bringing it back.
And I only had to hard summon it once.
I just realized we talked about Blue Eyes, and I didn't say it. Brick City Garnet Dragon, I have to say it. I'm obligated to.
Fair enough. Now for the lengths. I run 2 FA Shining Star GT. It's alright. The biggest downside of this card is, well, it gains a stupid amount of attack because it gains attack equal to whatever FA synchro it's pointing to. It doesn't deal damage. So, while yeah, you can use it to get over a lot of problem monsters very easily, and it is a light, so somehow if your opponent manages to summon 5-headed, it can kill it. The best part of this card is every time a FA spell or trap is activated, it gains a... I can't remember what they call the counter. It gains a counter on it, an athlete counter, and you can remove one athlete counter from this card to negate a monster effect once per turn.
Alright.
So, you know, it's fun. The next card I run, one Crystal Needle Fiber.
Oh man, this toxic man here playing Needle Fiber.
Yeah, well.
It's cool. I'm toxic too. I play in Aqua actresses, so.
Fair enough. Generally, I just use it as a link to go into the last of my links. I have actually never resolved its effect because half the time I've already used the only level 3 tuner, or level 3 or lower tuner in the deck. But if somehow you brick and you can't get to your tuner...
That's another one right there.
Yeah, that's one of the easiest ways to search it. Currently thinking about adding some synchro tuners into the deck, so that way I can kind of have extra availabilities, possibly a Quasar or something.
I think the best targets for it are, I'd say, Formula Synchron. I mean, you know, it's kind of funny because, you know, cars.
Yeah.
Or I think Desert Locust. Desert Locust is really good.
I mean, the level 5 is okay. The level 2 is the one I'm really interested into because of the fact that I can make level 5, 6 synchros incredibly easy. So, and then the last card to round out the extra deck, Appaloosa, Bow the Goddess. I mean, you heard how many cards special summon cards in the deck. We got the level 9 synchro that drops stuff for you. So getting this thing with 4 materials, it's a cakewalk. And having the ability to negate any monster effect in a chain, you gotta love that bit. Oh, and it is a fairly big beater if you do use the 4 materials.
Alright.
But yeah, that's honestly about it for the deck.
Alright, Steven, anything you want to say to anyone?
If you do build the deck, please remember, all of your field spells will be gone by turn 3.
Alright, so guys, thank y'all so much for watching. Go ahead and harpoon that subscribe button for more awesome content. Harpoon that like button as well.
I do both.
And comment any comments y'all have. Link in the description down below to my Instagram if you want to follow me on there. And guys, we will see y'all in the next video.